everybody, and welcome to this episode. This is Messy Confessions 10, where I, your resident cleaning expert, Melissa Maker, am here to help you with any and all cleaning questions that you might have. Today, we're doing a specific focus on floor cleaning and this zit on my chin. Despite the fact that I am in my early 40s, I'm still breaking out like a teenager. So if you too are experiencing this, just know you're not alone. Anyway, besides that, I thought what I would do is just ask everybody where they are from, where they are watching from today. I think most of you know that I'm located in Toronto, Ontario, which is in Canada. And it's really nice to see everyone who tunes in. So just say hi and I will shout you out and mention where you are from. We've got Brittany from Okanagan. We've got World Girl. Hi there. Got the Red Devil from the UK. Hey there. And we've got Patty from Lancaster. And I know that is how it's pronounced, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which has quite a large Amish community because many years ago, we shot a video at the Armstrong Flooring headquarters, which is headquartered in Lancashire. And I went calling it Lancaster. That's what I was saying. And everyone was like, no, it's Lancaster. So I now know that. And we've got Shelley from the UK. We've got Cheryl from Connecticut, Ireland. Oh my God. You started brewing your own kombucha. I am so obsessed with kombucha, an expensive habit. You know, maybe one of my next life projects will be learning how to brew kombucha. I think my bank account would greatly appreciate that because GT's kombucha, which is the one that I really love, it is so delicious, is like $5 a bottle. And in this economy, that's a lot. We've got Ajibike. I hope I said your name properly. Please correct me if I didn't. From Milton, which is just down the road. We've got Laura from Romania. We've got Jan from Chicago, Judy from Tennessee, Lulu from Scottsdale, Arizona. Oh, God, I love Arizona. Patty again. Oh, we've got World Girl from Northern California. And John, you're saying it's cold in Chicago? Yeah, it's cold here too. I just had to crank the temperature on my Nest right before we started. It was at 20 degrees Celsius and I booted it up 2 degrees to 22 because it was just far too cold. I'm in a tank top. It's May. Like, please. But I will say this. Yesterday, we had some pretty nice weather and I cleaned the exterior and interior of my car. And I do have a video on this that we filmed last year, I think. And let me tell you, I feel like a new woman. My car was disgusting. And as much as I don't like the idea of eating in my car or my daughter eating in the car or her bringing stuff in the car and leaving stuff in there. Like she's always got a little something in her hand, like a rock or a little elastic. Like kids always bring home little things. And I always tell her, whatever you bring in the car, you have to bring out of the car so that it doesn't become a rolling garbage dump. And despite my best efforts, my car did become a rolling garbage dump. It was gross. There was like a smear of cream cheese on the leather seat. There was a spilled hot chocolate. I saw like a chocolate Easter egg smeared on the seat. Because that's just what happens. And boy, did my car need a cleaning. So yeah, I took out all the mats. I vacuumed, cleaned the exterior, power washed it, cleaned the interior with a bunch of microfiber cloths and some really good product. And again, we have a video about that where I kind of go through all the products that I used. And I used professional grade stuff. I used to use like Dawn and vinegar and that kind of thing. And the reason I stopped using it is because car vehicle interiors are so particular in terms of what they need because they're being constantly exposed to heat and light and UV rays, and they don't operate the same way the inside of our house does. So using those conventional products didn't actually make sense for my car. And because I've bought out my car. It's a 2020. I need it to last for a while, so I wanted to take better care of it. Anyway, I'm getting off track. We've got Jackie from the Panhandle of Texas. Hey there. Oh my God, cleaning how to brewing is so easy, 5 minutes a week. Can you send me a DM on Instagram at Melissa Maker? I would love to know how you do it. I want your recipe. We've got Minda from the Philippines. Wow, it's so nice to have you from the beautiful island collection of the Philippines. And J Bugs from Florida. And yeah, Karin is on our team and she's doing an amazing job getting our links live. By the way, if you do want to chat with me and bring your cleaning questions up to the fore, you can throw them right there in the chat, or you can click this link that you'll see popping up just below, where you and I can chat side by side. So we'll bring you in and you and I can share a screen and just have a conversation about any cleaning challenge that you might have. And of course, feel free to pop your cleaning questions right here in the comments as well. So I figured, we always like to have a little bit of a theme when we come into our messy confessions every month, which, by the way, we do the first Monday of the month. Happy May. Just as a chance for you and I to connect. And I have all these videos available, but sometimes it's just nice to ask a question and get an answer right away. So that's exactly what this forum is for, because between YouTube comments and Instagram comments and the work that my team and I have to do, sometimes I can't answer everything. So yeah, this is why this is kind of a nice forum. So any cleaning question that you have, I'm here. I can answer them for the next little while. We've got Bar Goshen who says, I clean my porcelain floors with just hot water. I know vinegar isn't good for them. They're matte. No, vinegar's fine for porcelain floors. Porcelain, ceramic are really tolerant of most cleaning products and tools. So you could use a steam cleaner on those floors. You can use vinegar. You can use dish soap. You can use like Mr. Clean or Pine Sol. You can also use vinegar. So feel free to use it. It's actually a really nice way to cut grease, especially if you walk around those floors barefoot. Okay. Simply Sherelle says, what's the best way to keep my bedroom uncluttered? Should I put things right away? Yeah. Oh my God. I got to tell you, this weekend, Sherelle, one of the things that I did as well is I changed over my closet from winter to summer, in anticipation of this weather. And yeah, you know what? It always makes me realize when I do that I have clutter, even though I go through my closet a couple times a year. There's still clutter in the form of clothes that sit there that I don't like and I don't wear anymore. So I had to declutter that. And then another thing I've been doing is I've been scrutinizing all of the items that I have in my room. And I'm like, why do I have this? What is this doing here? Do I really need it? And if it's taking up space, I'm getting rid of it. We actually just launched a video on the YouTube channel about how to sell things on Facebook Marketplace. So if that's something that you've been hearing about or thinking about and you're not quite sure how to do it, whether it's clothes or housewares, whatever the case may be, you should watch that video. I'm sure Karin will get a link up for you in here in a moment or so. But I have to say, the best way to keep your bedroom uncluttered is to get rid of the stuff that you don't need. And then, as you say, putting things away right away. That's really the secret, those two things. And I've also been making a real concerted effort to make my bed. And that also goes a long way. It's really annoying and I don't want to do it most days, but I will tell you. Oh, thank you. Thank you for your comment. That's very kind, Sherelle. Okay, let me see. Rabbit says, how are you so awesome? I don't know. I question my awesomeness, but thank you. Thank you so much. All right. J-Bug says, I have well water here and I struggle so much with my shower and skin being orange. Oh, please help. Okay. Yeah, you've got a challenge because you are dealing with super hard water. And I'm going to ask, do you have a water softener? Because that would probably provide you with a lot of relief. Otherwise, something like a CLR is going to be your best friend because you're going to need to soften. You're going to need to deal with all of the buildup of the rust, that sort of orange staining, that's rust. You're gonna have to deal with that on a very regular basis. It's a lot of work. So a water softener is great if you can get your hands on one. There's also a product called Calgon, which is like a water softener additive that you can use for laundry. So think about that. Mm. John wants to know where you can buy bulk vinegar so you can refill it in glass containers. So you see, this is the problem, John. There are a lot of people like you who have these great ideas and would be very willing to drive somewhere to fill up a container so that they don't have to waste plastic. And then there's the rest of the world who's just like, yeah, I don't care. It's not convenient and I want everything in plastic. And the vinegar manufacturer is like, yeah, I'm not going to upset the apple cart here. We're just going to keep doing what we're doing. So you could investigate like janitorial supply companies. They might sell larger containers of it where you can just dose out of that larger container into like a glass container so that, you know, you can sort of decant a little bit, use it, and then go back to your bigger container. That's sort of burdensome for you. In your area, you might have like I was going to say dispensary. It's not a dispensary, but like a shop where they dispense items in bulk. So you can bring your own containers. So they have a couple of them in Toronto, but again, like I live in the suburbs. They're in the city, like they're not convenient. So you'd have to look around and see if they have any in Chicago, or, you know, close to where you live that's convenient. But basically places where you can take containers, you can buy things in bulk. They basically weigh your container, subtract that off whatever, you know, purchase, however much volume you fill your container with. And that's the solution. But nothing that I know of that is accessible exists like what you're suggesting. I really wish it did. Brittany says, I just use Dawn vinegar and essential oils now that you told me not to use Tide on your floors, right, Brittany? I think we had this conversation in a past Messy Confessions, and I'm so glad that you're not using Tide on floors. I know that was a really big trend. I think it really sort of took on a lot of popularity during COVID. I think some other content creators were talking a lot about it. And I'm just a really big fan of using a product for its intended purpose. So we don't have to rehash that one. But yes, I'm so glad that you're using the right stuff. Bar wants to know what's the balance between water and vinegar. So when we're talking about your porcelain tiles, you can do like a 50-50 mix. Vinegar is really not harmful for porcelain at all. The only reason people don't want to use vinegar is because they might not like the smell on porcelain floors. But in my opinion, vinegar is great because it cuts grease. And if you're walking around barefoot or you have pets, they're going to leave sort of grease or oil on the floor. And yeah, that would be a really nice thing to avoid. So vinegar, water in a 50-50 mix. You can either fill a bucket with hot water and vinegar and use that, or you can fill a spray bottle with equal parts of water and vinegar. This is what I do. And then I spray the floor and I just use like the maker's mop in a W pattern or an S pattern, depending on which direction I'm cleaning. Let me know if you don't know what the W or S pattern is and I can review that. But yeah, that's essentially what I do and I get great results. Okay. At GBK, I really, again, hope I'm saying your name correctly, but what is the best equipment for steam cleaning in homes? Okay. So it depends on the application. Are you looking to steam clean your floors? Are you looking to steam clean surfaces? Because there are different tools that are available. There are a number of different brands in the steam cleaning space that I really like. Ladybug is sort of the Bentley or the Maserati, if you will, of steam cleaning. Sorry, I'm just crossing my legs, kicking the table. We're shaking. Not to worry, not having an earthquake here. So if you're a professional cleaner and you're looking to offer steam cleaning services and you want to like upcharge for it, you might want to invest in a Ladybug. Okay. If you're someone who's just looking to do this at home, a really great brand is Dupray, Dupray. They make great product, as does Reliable, which is a Canadian company. So what you'd be looking for if you sort of want a whole home solution that does floors as well as other surfaces around the house is something that looks like a canister vacuum. So you're going to have your tank, and it's going to be on wheels. And then you're going to have sort of a long pole. And then you're going to have interchangeable heads with that. So you can use that for floors. You can use that for rugs. You can use it for walls. You can use it for windows. You can use it for bathroom surfaces. Like, it's pretty cool. The one thing I'll say about steam cleaning is that there's a bit of a learning curve to it. So if you're going to invest the time, then it's worth the investment. So if it's a few $100 to buy a steam cleaner, you have to take the time, you have to learn the different tools, you have to learn the different techniques. But the nice thing is, once you have it, you have it. And oh my God, steam cleaners are amazing. Like, they work really, really well. And you don't need to use other products. And they kill everything on your surface. So you don't have to worry about like germs and that kind of thing hanging around. So at home, I don't use a steam cleaner because I just like the convenience of being able to grab this or that. But when I have used a steam cleaner, it just blows me away every time. Like, it's just amazing. Like, they work so, so well. And if you have grouted floors, like say tiles, you have grouted floors and like they look dirty or you're annoyed with them. Wow. Like, steam cleaners can really work magic on the grout. Alrighty. Christopher. Oh my gosh, this is a great question, Christopher. This is a tough one. And many years ago, I put out a video. Oh my God, I'm going to try to remember what it's called. Ooh, I think it's something along the lines of getting your partner to clean or something like that. Chad and I filmed that many, many years ago. God, that must be over 10 years old. Oh, sorry about that. I didn't put my phone on silent, and my daughter's school just called, so they will call Chad, and I'm sure it'll all be fine. Anyway, back to this, but let me just put my phone on do not disturb, and then that way we don't have to worry about interruptions. All right. So that video came out a long, long time ago, and if you can find it, it's probably 10 years old, but if you can find it, it's a good one to watch. Now, here's the thing. You're never going to be on the same page as your partner about clutter and about cleaning. It is, I mean, if you can find someone and you are on the same page, somebody's looking out for you upstairs, because that is amazing. It's hard. Usually there's one person who's more type A, one person who's more type B, one person who's more organized, one person who's less organized, one person who's more clean, one person who's more tidy, one person who doesn't care about clutter, one person who really cares about clutter, one person who, and it could go on and on and on. Here's the thing. You have to have a conversation about your minimums and your maximums. So I would say, Christopher, I would approach it like, my bare minimum is this. Like, this is what I need to feel comfortable. Or you can flip the script a little and say, my maximum is this. This is what I can handle. Anything, this or under is okay, but this is sort of my breaking point. And then you have to find out from your partner where they're at and what their minimum or maximum is. When it comes to clutter, like, is it a number of boxes? Is it a room? Is it a garage? Like, what is it? Let's talk about let's use the garage as an example. What ideally would you like the garage to look like? This is what I would like the garage to look like. How can we sort of come to an agreement on this? Where can we make some compromises? And then what's the plan to get there? Like, what's the action plan? It's hard, and you have to approach this conversation with kindness. What I really struggle with is I always think I'm right. Let me know if you have the same affliction as me. So it's really hard for me sometimes to see it from the other person's side, because I'm like, well, obviously, if I find the garage cluttered, then it is de facto cluttered. And it can be hard to hear the other person's perspective, but that's being in a partnership, right? And you have to figure it out and learn how to have those conversations and talk through it. And I have faith in you, because people do this every day. And it might be messy, no pun intended, at first, but approach it with kindness and respect and a mutual goal, right? And then that way it's not about I'm right, you're wrong. It's about just what's the goal and how can we get to the goal. And I'm just going to punctuate it, just being kind and respectful, and expressing your boundaries to your partner. And that is what you need to do. That's how you get on the same page. It's really this issue of cleaning in a couple is really a communications issue. And it's one that we all have had to deal with at some point, Christopher. So you're not alone. I love that you asked this question, and I would love an update, even if it's just an email or a DM or something. I'd love to know how it goes, and if there's anything further I can do to help. Vinny. Okay, Vinny, you have 4 cats. 2 are Maine Coons. Shedding is a problem. Even after washing clothes, you still see cat hair. All right. So for those of you who don't know Maine Coons are real big boys and girls. They can be about 20, 25 pounds. You can look up a picture of them. They're real cute and they're super hairy. And sometimes they have like an extra ring of hair, kind of like a little baby lion. They're very cute. My best friend has 2. And they are real hairy. So I get you, Vinny. The best thing you can do is a dryer sandwich. Okay. And this is going to help with your laundry. And the other piece of advice I'm going to give you besides a dryer sandwich is vacuuming regularly. So you might be a really great candidate for a robot vacuum because it's just going to pick up whatever has fallen to the floor on a very regular basis. So I don't think robot vacuums are right for everybody, but I do think for people that have pets with pet hair, yes, thank you, Karen. That's a Maine Coon. Look at that cat. So cute. Oh, I just want to pet it. Okay, sorry. Yeah, and that's my pet voice for all of you who wanted to know what it sounded like. There it is. Okay. So if I ever see you walking your dog or if I ever meet your pet, that's going to come out. So a robot vacuum is great for you. You're going to have to stay on top of your vacuuming. And then the dryer sandwich is taking your clothes before you launder them. So your dirty load of clothes, you're going to put them in the dryer for 10 minutes. Okay. You don't have to use heat, but just an air only cycle. And that's going to help shake off and loosen a lot of that pet hair. Then you're going to move that load into the washing machine. You're going to wash it as usual. Because if you think about it, wet hair, and I know this as a woman with pretty long hair who sheds, wet hair is sticky and it's hard to get off surfaces. Dry hair is way easier to get rid of. So you're going to bounce it off in the dryer for 10 minutes, pop it into the washing machine, do your regular load of laundry, and then you're going to put it back in the dryer. That's the dryer sandwich, and just dry your clothes as you normally would. Clean the lint trap every time. And you should notice a real reduction in pet hair. You're also just going to be one of those people that needs to walk around with a lint roller because you have 4 cats and 2 of them are Maine Coons. Like, you're in it. So best of luck, and feel free to send in a picture of your kitties anytime. Okay. Let's see, Rebecca. This was a nice piece of feedback that Rebecca gave to our earlier question about decluttering a room. You can air it out, but you can sweep your floor and mop when needed and put things in its place and then make your bed up last. Yeah, I love that. I love that feedback. At GBK, you want to know if you can call me offline. I don't really do that, but if you do want to pop on screen with me, we can chat face to face, or you can always send me an email or a DM after the live stream to info@cleanmyspace.com. Okay. All righty. Let's see here. Simply Sherelle. How do I clean the grout on my bathroom wall? The white around the squares was told to spray it with bleach. Okay. So let's talk about grout. This is a pretty great camera here on my laptop, and you can see pretty close that I am one of those people with rather large pores, and I don't love them, but it's part of who I am, and I am on a journey to self-acceptance. Anyway, my pores are a great jumping off point for grout because you can see I have acne-prone skin. Oh, there we go. Thank you, skin. We are really showing up today to help. All right, so when dirt gets on your face, you have pores. It sinks into your skin and it comes out in the form of a pimple. All right. So that is how we, a living, breathing being, expel dirt from our largest organ of our body, our skin, right? So it goes in through the pores and kind of comes out as that. And, we wash our face regularly to try and keep our pores clean so that they don't look dirty, so on and so forth. Grout is very similar to the pores on our skin. It is a porous material. If you look up close, it's very similar to the pores on your skin. The difference is grout is not living and breathing like we are. So grout doesn't have a way to expel or create pimples or blackheads. Instead, it just darkens over time. So let's say you clean your grout with a dirty sponge. Let's say you use like an oily body scrub and then fling some of it onto your grout, and the grout just starts absorbing that. Or, you're washing out your hair and there's oil that comes out of your hair and it kind of, flings on to the surface with the shampoo, and, things just build up in the grout over time. Okay. And the grout doesn't have a way to expel it. So we were talking earlier about a steam cleaner. Let me tell you, if you want to watch your grout go from drab to fab, a steam cleaner is like the fastest way to do that. Essentially, what you do is you just blast the grout line with steam. You have a towel handy and you just blot up whatever comes out, and it's like night and day. Okay, so that's option one. Option two, I don't love bleach. I find it like a risky product to play around with. So the next thing you can do is you can use a paste of hydrogen peroxide and baking soda. So you're going to have about 4 parts baking soda to 1 part hydrogen peroxide. This is going to have the same effect. It's just less risky than bleach. So you're going to take that paste and apply it to the grout lines. So you can use your finger, a toothbrush, whatever you like, and just leave it there for 10 to 15 minutes. And then you can use like a cleaning toothbrush or a scrub brush, and you can just use a little bit of water and scrub it off and then rinse well. Baking soda leaves quite a bit of grittiness behind, so you're going to have to rinse it really well. There are also specialty grout cleaners that you can use. And those are sort of 3 options that you can sort of think about when it comes to cleaning grout. Now, the next thing, and the thing that's really important, and the thing that I haven't done, so I always talk about how important it is, but I haven't done this, is to seal your grout. And the reason I haven't done it is because it's just a lot of work and I have a lot of other things going on in my life. But I'm also the kind of person where if my grout looks dirty, like I can sort of see past it. I was even having this conversation with someone earlier where it was like, there was a scratch on my floor and this person said, "Oh yeah, like, I would, I noticed the scratch on your floor." And I said, "Yeah, I don't really care. Like it's a house, it's lived in, if my grout's a little dirty, it's fine." But if I really cared about my grout not looking dirty, or if my grout wasn't in the best shape, what I would do is seal it. And you have to seal it every 6 months. And sealing your grout is essentially, if you think about it, like putting a coat of clear nail polish over the pores of your skin so you never get pimples. Now, of course, we would never do this, but that's sort of the theory or the concept behind sealing your grout. Okay. You can pick up grout sealant online. You can pick it up at Home Depot. Like it's pretty easy to come by. The instructions are pretty clear on a bottle. Takes a little bit of time, but it's going to protect your grout and prevent you from having that issue going forward. Okay. So I hope that answers your question. Red Devil wants to know what the most effective way to clean different types of floors are. And that is a great question because there are so many different types of floors. We've got tile, we've got natural stone, we've got hardwood, laminate, luxury vinyl tile. Like there's so many different ways. We actually have a video coming out. I think it's this week, talking about how to clean all the different types of floors. So if this is something that's on your mind, stay tuned and make sure that you look out for that video because it's coming right up. Christopher, I'm glad to hear that my comments were helpful. And yes, I really would love an update on your thoughts there. And then a GBK also wants to know, what's the best vacuum for commercial cleaning? Okay, so it sounds to me like maybe you're in the cleaning business, and I have some experience in that. I think some of you know that I also have a cleaning company. I've had it since 2006. So let's see here. The brand that I've had, so Electrolux makes pretty good commercial vacuums, as does Karcher. Those would be the 2 brands that I would explore. And if you're really going for speed and convenience, there are what are called backpack vacs. Let's see if I can say that 3 times fast. Backpack vacs, backpack vacs, backpack vacs. Oh, that's tough. You try saying it. There are backpack vacs. And what it is essentially you wear the canister on your back like a backpack. And then you have the tools And it's just so much easier to move around. It's a lot faster and more convenient. So if commercial cleaning is something that you're getting into, I would say to investigate those two brands, Electrolux and Karcher, and investigate a backpack vac. Bar wants to know if robot vacuums and steam machines can replace old methods. Yeah, I do. I do think steam cleaning has a ton of benefit, and it's safe for most surfaces. And I do think it's a technology that certainly supersedes a lot of the cleaning technologies that we have right now. I think the biggest issue with steam is adoption, right? Like I don't see like the average household going out and buying a steam cleaner and instead of doing things the way they've always done them, now switching to steam cleaning because we're used to using the products and tools and techniques that we know. And steam cleaning, like I said, it really is sort of a paradigm shift in the way that you clean. Like you have to learn something new. A lot of people would say, like, oh, but I'm only cleaning with water. Are things really getting clean? And like you and I know that steam is so hot that not only can it break up grease, grime, and any other dirt that you're going to encounter, but it's also going to obliterate germs. Um, but it's the adoption rate that I think is going to be slow. So yeah, I think that technology is great. Robot vacuums, as they exist right now, like the circular ones, they're only good for sort of in between cleans. They're not going to replace all vacuuming, at least not yet. But when there is like a humanoid vacuum that exists, like a robot, a physical robot that can also vacuum, yeah, I think things are going to change. And I don't know if I'd want one of those. I mean, I would never want to have to clean again, but I also don't know if I'd want one of those in my house. I feel like we are getting ever so close to episodes of The Black Mirror. And if you're a fan of that show, and I just don't know if I want to go there. Alrighty. Let's see. Oh my God, Brittany, this is such a weird question. Like, not because you're weird, but this is a weird encounter. You have a house with painted tiles. How should you clean them? So this is really interesting because I always talk about knowing the three things: PTT, product, tools, and techniques. And you have to apply the right PTTs to the surface that you're cleaning. So this is a really great question because, of course, you're a professional cleaner and this is something that you should be concerned about. So we are going to think about not the base, the tiles. We're going to think about the finish, the paint, because that is the easiest to ruin. So in this case, I would talk to your client and I would say, what was advised to you when you bought this paint, or what did the paint say? Because some paint is washable, some is not. I imagine if it's on flooring, it should be pretty durable, but you would want to make sure that you're not scratching the paint. So you can't use anything abrasive, right? So you can't really scrub down. So if, there's a blob of jam on the floor, you're going to have to soak that off, not scrub that off, because you don't want to chip the paint. I would take a very light approach to this. So I would use something as simple as water and dish soap. Like I wouldn't even go vinegar. I would do water and dish soap. I would test in a hidden area. I would use a super soft mop. Like I would either use like a flathead mop, but I would go with a very light hand and not with any abrasive bristles, or I would use something like the Violeta spin mop. You also want to make sure that you're not dragging anything on these floors. So whether it's a bucket, a vacuum, a stepladder, anything like that, you're always lifting and placing, not dragging. So those are some things to think about. All righty. Sherry. All right. Sherry, hello. And Sherry's question: she has a Le Creuset kettle that sits on my stove and get used daily. It gets orangey inside and you're looking for a safe way to clean it. I have a Le Creuset kettle too, and I love them. I'm just going to get it and show people in case they don't. Okay. So the brand doesn't exactly matter. The problem is pretty universal. If it's getting orangey inside, it means you have hard water or you have water with lots of iron in it. So option one, like we talked about earlier with the person who was on well water, is getting a water softener, because I'm imagining, and this is just a prediction, but or not a prediction. I'm not no, don't come to me for predictions. I cannot offer that service. This is a guess, an educated guess. If you have that, you might be getting orangey or crusty buildup around your other faucets and showers and stuff, toilets, that kind of thing around the house. Okay. And it's just iron. You're not doing anything wrong. It's the water that's feeding into your house. You just have to deal with it. So you can get full strength vinegar. You can order this on Amazon. You can probably find it at Home Depot. It's readily available. So you want anything that's 10% acidic acid plus. Okay, so 10%, 15%. You want to make sure you're protecting your eyes, you're protecting your hands, you're in a well-ventilated space. You can soak, swish it around, you can boil it even a little bit and then dump it, and that should help get rid of it, Sherry. The other thing you can do is you can pick up CLR. It's in the gray bottle. I'm sure a lot of folks know about it. CLR is a really powerful product. It also has the EPA Safer Choice seal, which I look for when I'm investigating cleaning products. That's important to me. I really don't like bringing stuff into my house unless I know it's like simple and safe. So CLR is good for that. And you can just follow the instructions. Essentially, you're going to pour some into the kettle. You're going to add some water as well. You leave it for about 2 minutes and then you're going to rinse it. And so as to not ingest it, I would do several rinses, even a couple of boils just to make sure that it's out. But because this is something that you're using to consume, water, I would maybe try the vinegar first. You also want to rinse well. You clearly do not want to taste vinegar. So yeah, just some food for thought there. But that's how you're going to get it clean. Easy. Alrighty. Let's see. Okay. Let's see, Brittany, you got a Miele vacuum for cleaning your house and for your side hustle, and you love it. Miele is a great brand. Oh my gosh, people who are Miele fans, they love Miele's. I haven't used a Miele in years because I've been using Dyson vacuums forever. But yeah, both Miele and Dyson, like those two high-end brands, excellent. So I'm so happy for you. Tamara, oh my God, this is such a great question. And I'm really glad that you asked it because we need to address it. No, you can't. And I'm going to explain to you how some businesses work so you understand what's really going on here. Right here, we have the manufacturer of the flooring, and they know their product very well, right? And they are invested in your floors looking great for a long time. So they are going to tell you how they want you to clean their floors. And these are the people I listen to. Over here, we have the mop manufacturers, the steam mop manufacturers, and they are interested in selling more units. So they're going to tell you, of course, you can use our product to clean your hardwood floors. Of course, it's safe. No, it's not. Like, it's really not. And the reason they will tell you that it's fine is because, like, how are you going to prove otherwise, right? You can't. But these people might say you'll lose your warranty if you use a steam mop on your floors. So I always err on the side of the manufacturer. And that's why whenever I give feedback or if there's something I'm not sure about, I'll always say check with the manufacturer because they are the ones who know their material best. So steam on hardwood floors deposits microscopic liquid droplets into the wood. And then what happens when wood gets wet? It expands and then it contracts and then it can start to sound squeaky, or your floorboards might get too full of water. They might swell and then you can get warping. It is so bad for your floors. Whenever I find out that people steam clean hardwood, I just try to stop it immediately. I would say, oh, thanks, Karin. Karin has the hard floor cleaning masterclass video link up for you. You can see that in the comments. So yeah, you can check that out and you can sort of hear me talk a little bit more about that. Maybe repeat myself a little bit. It's a bad habit that I have. But yeah, you could check that out and it should give you more information. Please just stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to when it comes to cleaning hardwood floors. That's a TLC reference in case anyone missed it. But yeah, just simple. Keep it simple. Keep the steam off the hardwood. All right. Judy, how do you clean hardwood floors that over time the varnish is worn off in areas exposing the bare wood? Yeah. So with unvarnished wood, we worry about potentially having the same issue I was just talking about with Tamara, right? Like we worry about water getting into the wood and expanding and contracting, the wood becoming parched. You know, if you walk on it, you might get a splinter, like that kind of thing. And it looks uneven. The best thing to do, you probably know what I'm going to say already, is just to refinish and revarnish that floor. So sand it all down, revarnish it. It's going to be way easier to clean. It's going to look better. It's going to be less risky. But in the meantime, the best thing that you can do if you don't want to ruin the wood underneath at this point is to sweep or vacuum. All right. If there's bare, unvarnished wood, you really don't want to get it wet because you can ruin it. So when we approach floors like that, we just do a dry treatment. Okay. Monica, you have an Animal Dyson vacuum. Yes. Oh, those are good. So whenever Dyson has a product that has the word animal attached to it, it's referring to pets. So what it means is they have extra attachments for pets. And yes, I have tested the animal before and it's an animal. It's great. It's like very effective. And I think if you have pets, like investing in a vacuum that can deal with pet hair and dander and has really great filtration is really, really important. Still Water says citric acid for sure. I'm pretty sure you're referring to our kettle question from earlier. Yeah, citric acid can help as well. Okay. Jenny says, how do you get the motivation to clean? I dread it every time and I really don't know why. And then you use this little adorable emoji. Yeah. Jenny, I'm with you. And I hope I pronounced your name correctly. I realize that I maybe didn't. So you can feel free to correct me if you like. All right. So the motivation to clean, honestly, I struggle with it. Like I'll tell you, yesterday and the day before were beautiful days. Did I want to be cleaning? No. But I looked around and I thought, I have these lingering jobs. My week ahead is very busy. And if I don't get to it, the mess compounds. And then it's just more stressful and it feels crappier and I feel crappier. And ultimately, I don't like to clean. I don't want to spend my time doing it, but I feel so good in a clean house. And that feeling of feeling good in a clean house is the one that I use to help motivate me to do a little bit of work. And I'll also say, if when I was cleaning yesterday and the day before, I wasn't cleaning for 6 hours. I gave myself an hour. I said, or I gave myself one task. Like, I'm going to change over my closets and that's it. Then I looked around, and to answer an earlier question about keeping a bedroom clean, I had a pile of clutter that I was like, okay, we've got to deal with this. And I looked at it and I'm like, I'm not dealing with that today. I'm going to enjoy myself. Like, I already did this one project. That's it. That's enough. And I'll deal with that another day. Like, that's just how I have to do it. Some people can set themselves up where they go for a full day or a full weekend and they do a top to bottom of the house. And like, that's great. I'm not built that way. I take it you're not built that way either. So if that's the case and you and I are similar, pick a task or pick a time period, be very specific and just get to it. And once it's done, it's done. You will feel better at the end. That I can promise. Thank you. And now we have an instant cleaning motivation video in the comments. So you can check that one out as well. That one's really helpful. But honestly, I am not that person that just wakes up and wants to clean. Like, that's just not me. And I'm secretly jealous of those people because that's one less thing they have to worry about. And that's so great that they can be that efficient and happy about cleaning. But to me, just the result, the clean house is everything. Gosh, do I ever love living in a clean house. So spending that extra time, going that extra mile, that makes the difference. Okay, Monica, Can you clean inside parts of the Dyson animal? Because after vacuuming up after the dog, it smells. Cleaning filters does not help. Okay. Mhm. So you're I feel like I start a lot of answers like this. I do have a video where I show how to clean parts of your Dyson vacuum. So the brush roll, the attachments, the bin. And I will say to Dyson's credit, like it's pretty straightforward to do. You just have to learn the motion of how you attach and detach and open and close their equipment, because it can feel really scary because you don't want to break anything. They also have a pretty good customer service setup. So if I've had to call them for customer service before, so if you do have to call them or you're unsure about a particular piece, you can give them a ring and they can kind of walk you through how to troubleshoot. But Monica, check out my video where I go through how to clean a Dyson. Because yeah, it will get stinky after a while, and emptying the bin can only get you so far. And cleaning the filters, you can usually take the filters off, run them underwater, dry them for 24 hours and replace them. But the rest of the vacuum also does need maintenance as well. Okay. So yeah, I hope you find that video and I hope it helps because it like really explains everything. Sherry, okay. Awesome. We do have well water with lots of filters, but I'm sure the iron sneaks in. It does. Like honestly, I mean, you can only do so much. Like I said, right? You're at the mercy of whatever water is coming into your house. So it sounds like you're doing everything you can. And at this point, Sherry, I would just try the vinegar or the CLR and see where it gets you. I'm confident that will solve the problem. Barbara, okay, hardwood floor, best cleaning product, porcelain tub, best cleaning product. Okay, yeah, this is easy. Okay, hardwood floor. I just use dish soap and water, nothing more. And I love the results that I get. Like I use like a pinky nail, about a quarter teaspoon of dish soap and 2 cups of water. I make up a spray bottle. I have my Maker's Clean flathead mop or taco shaped mop. I call it a flathead, but if you don't know the Maker's mop, you can go check it out. But it's like, yeah, it's my go-to. That's what I use for mopping hardwood floors. For a porcelain tub, so let's just clarify the difference between porcelain and fiberglass / acrylic. So a porcelain tub, I'm going to use my glasses case. Like if you hold up, if you take your nails and you walk up to the side of your tub and you kind of just, looks ASMR, but it's not. And you do this and you get like a metallic reverb, you have a porcelain tub. If you do this and you kind of get like a plasticky reverb, something more like, right, like that, you're going to feel it in your fingers, you're going to hear it. Then you know you have fiberglass or acrylic. Now, fiberglass or acrylic is really soft, so you can't clean it with something that's overly abrasive, be it a product or a tool. With porcelain, you can throw anything at it. It's very durable. So you can, you choose your adventure. Like if you want to use Barkeeper's Friend, that's great. Barkeeper's Friend has a tub and tile. It's like a mild abrasive. You can use that. You can use baking soda and dish soap. If you want to make a lovely DIY paste, you can do that. You can use something like Soft Scrub or Vim. Those are products that people love using on tubs as well, like Comet. But I'm not saying to use Comet, but I'm saying that is a product that you could use. I think Comet is like just way too much to use in a tub. But lots of different options. You can use something that has a mild abrasive, even the pink stuff. You can use something that has a mild abrasive, or you can use something that's just a spray-on product. CLR makes a great one. You can use something like Dawn Power Wash or Mr. Clean Neat Freak if you want to go in that direction. There are lots of different options, Barbara. So the best cleaning product, like those are all great options. I can't say one works better than the other because they all work really well. So I hope that helps. You just have a lot of options, and I think that's really like so good to have a lot of options. Tamara, you are so welcome. Let's see, Brittany. Oh God, that sounds like a terrible story. Oh God, your brother probably got in a lot of trouble. Well, sorry to hear about that. Okay. Well, listen, my friends, it's been a lovely journey talking about cleaning floors. And like I said, we've got a video coming up. I think it's at the end of this week where you can learn all about cleaning different types of floors, including some DIY recipes, as well as my favorite floor cleaning tools. You can have links to that. Um, Also, the Facebook Marketplace video. Um, like, I just want to be clear. I've made like thousands of dollars on Facebook Marketplace selling a whole bunch of different things. And I made some mistakes too. And I put this video together and just check it out. Because if it's something that you want to learn how to do and you have stuff you want to declutter that you want, like, even if you have things that are new in the box or things that you haven't touched in 15 years, I swear to you, there is someone in your area that wants to buy it. Take a picture, put it on Marketplace, and see what happens. But watch this video. It's the newest one up on the YouTube channel, and see what you can get. Anyway, I hope you have an amazing May, and lots of cool stuff is in the pipeline on our end. So can't wait to share it with you. And if I don't see you before then, I will see you at the next live. But I sure hope I do see you before then. Take good care. Have a great afternoon.